Hello and welcome to this course on dependency injection with Autofac. Now, before we talk about the course, I want to briefly introduce myself. So my name is Dimitri. Here is a rather official looking picture of me. I work in an area called quant finance, which is a nice mix of math, finance, and computing, including some sophisticated applications of high performance computing. I am a frequent conference speaker, a blogger, and a .NET user group leader, and I've been a Microsoft Visual C# MVP since the year 2009. Just in case you forgot, this is a course on dependency injection with the Autofac library. Now, why are we talking about dependencies? Well, dependencies are everywhere. In a typical object-oriented system, components often depend on one another, and you want to be able to manage these dependencies and easily substitute components when new or different components become available. You want the system to be extensible and to have flexible controls over the parts of which the system is actually built. So what are we going to see as part of this course? Well, first of all, we'll discuss dependency injection and inversion of control. These are the two key principles upon which everything else is built. Then we'll talk about registration concepts. These are concepts related to how you register components in the system when the dependencies are injected. We'll also talk about some advanced registration concepts, even more complicated scenarios for registration. Then we'll talk about resolving services. That is the idea of getting components out of the dependency injection container. There are some tricks here as well. Then we'll talk about scope and lifetime, essentially being able to control the lifetime of your components and being able to dispose them automatically in certain scopes. Then we'll talk about configuration, how you can configure your dependency injection container both in code as well as externally using something like XML or JSON, and we'll consider a few advanced topics towards the end. The course is organized as 100% hands-on demo-based. I'm going to be demonstrating the Autofac library using the C# programming language, and the IDE I'm going to be using is JetBrains Rider, although of course all of the examples that I'm going to show will work just fine in a different IDE such as Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code. All of the sections have end-of-section quizzes where you can test your knowledge and understanding of the topics that we've covered. The prerequisites for this course are fairly obvious. You should have a good understanding of the C# programming language, you should have a general understanding of .NET application architecture development, and finally you should have a curiosity and willingness to learn new things. So if you are ready, let's go and see what dependency injection is all about.